Hi guys, I'm Matt from ACM and I'm a games dev lecturer, and today I'm going to be talking to you about pixel art for creating sprites in games. So, next thing we need to do is start thinking about colour. Now sometimes I'll often, probably do this on the same one, or sometimes I'll duplicate it just so that I've got a copy of my line drawing there, and maybe hide it, and then I'll just so I've got a little bit of a backup. So now it's all about starting to colour it, and what we're going to do is we're going to just do some block colours to start off with. So on the right hand side, we've obviously got, we could go in, we could start picking out different colours and things like that, or we could go to the swatches. You could build your own swatches. For example, I've got some swatches here that I've slowly started to put together, but also we've got these, there's some basic standard swatches here, these pastels, lights, pure, dark, darker, and I quite like using these, if I'm honest. These are fairly standard choices that you can use, and I think we're going to use them. So let's see where we start off. Tell you what, I'm going to make this guy have some, and so to be honest, the first thing I'm going to do is just take from this pure section, and we might use the other sections to do maybe some of the line art in a bit. So I'm going to take this pure, I'm going to take this red, and I'm actually just going to use the paint bucket tool just to make, maybe he has red trousers, and let's go back to that, and we're just going to put red there and there. Cool, and let's see what will go with red. Maybe he has orange, the orange waistcoat. Doesn't really work, I'll be honest. Not that much of a fan of that. So in that case, let's make that blue. Actually, that kind of works better, doesn't it? Let's go with that. We'll go with that. There's not worrying too much about it. You can play around with the colours, see what looks good. You don't have to pick from these primary ones. I'm just using them because they're here. Yeah, what I'm actually going to do is for skin tone. I'm just going to pick a pastel there. I could use darker. I'm not really. We'll just do that. Not too worried. Again, that works. That works fine. And let's give him some brown shoes. Some nice, some nice brown shoes here. Cool. And the hat. Shall we have the hat match the? Yeah, let's do that. Cool. I'm actually going to give him white. Maybe put a little letter on it, like I don't know. I don't know what that stands for, what that is, but hey, you know what? I think it works. I think it works quite well. So also eyes. We can't forget about the eyes. So I'm going to do just some of the white of the eyes there, and then what eyes shall we give him? Should we give him blue to match his shirt? Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We could do that. We could do all sorts, really. I'm going to do that. I kind of like the fact it's cross-eyed. There's something about that just that appeals to me. Cool. So we've got some block colours in there, and this is where really you could do. There's a few things you could do. You could leave all the lines black, and that would work absolutely fine. That would work great. Personally, what I like to do is to use a darker colour of the block colour around it to kind of start defining the lines and defining what line is actually intended to be with what shape. And you'll see what I mean, especially around the faces. So we used what did we use? We used this, didn't we? For or was it that one? I think it was that one. remember now. Was it that one? No, it wasn't that one. Yeah, we used that one. So we used this pastel colour here for the skin tone. And you can see here what we've got is we've got a line that goes round, but this L-shaped line here. Now actually what I want is for this bottom left pixel, that's actually meant to be for the shirt, meant to be with the shoulder there, where here and here is meant to be with the face. So we can define that by using a slightly darker colour to outline the skin tone, but to also outline like the colour of the shirt. So I'm going to do exactly that, and I'm going to choose this here. That works perfectly. So I'm keeping it in the same kind of colour, but I'm just using a darker version of it. I'm just going to go around the edge of where this guy's face is. I'm also going to do the eyes and the mouth. Yeah, that works. And you'll see as we go, you know, if I start doing the cap here, everything, you know, it's not making it look, it's not stopping it from standing out, because it's still standing out absolutely fine, but it's just signifying what line is going with what shape. So we had that light blue there, so let's put that blue in. As I say, you don't have to do it like this. You absolutely can leave it blue. This is just my own personal style, and you know, it's all about, a lot of the time art is all about finding your style and finding what, you know, works for you. Yeah, this is just what I like to do and what's always worked for me, which is absolutely fine. You know, that's what you want to do. You know, no one's style is, there's no correct way about around doing art, essentially. So let's just choose a really dark brown for that. Cool. And essentially now we have our sprite. Yeah, we've got the sprite. The last thing I like to do is to add some shading and to start thinking about kind of the light and how the light would affect our character. So that kind of starts to think about, you know, well, where's the sun going to be coming from, and how is the light going to be hitting our character on the screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm starting a new layer, and I'm going to use only this grayscale swatch here. Okay, and I'm going to go through the character. I'm going to essentially place where this grayscale color on top of our character for where the dark areas are, where the light areas are, you know, but then we'll kind of put some transparency to it, and you'll see it will make the character pop a little bit. So let's start off with thinking about the shadows. So I'm thinking that we're going to have essentially light coming in from this direction. Yeah, so light's going to be coming in from this direction, which means that the shadows are going to be more on his kind of right side and kind of underneath him slightly. So if I start off with shadow here, shadow here, shadow here, and I'm going to lower the opacity of him just a little bit, just so I can see, you know, where the black areas are a little bit more. So I'm going to do that under him. So I'm kind of essentially outlining and just going underneath where sort of the slightly darker areas would be, and definitely most of that left hand side would be darker. Cool. And yeah, that side as well. Let's just do that side. again, this is not as precise as the actual, you know, thinking about the shapes and things like that, but you do have to start thinking about, you know, where you want these the shadow to be. So you can see it's all more of the right hand side, more of you know, underneath areas. I'm just going to do a little bit more there as well, and then we want to, you know, take up this entire thing with some colour. So I'm going to go and choose more of a middling grey here, just to essentially get the middle areas of this. So we're not worrying too much. I'm just going to do that edge there because I imagine there might be some light coming, essentially going around his body. And yeah, that'll do. We'll go there, we'll go there, up to there. This would actually be dark all under his leg there, thinking about it. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to go to brush. I'm going to take the black. And that's just going to be all dark under his leg. Cool. Oh no, don't want that colour. I want that colour. I'm not worried too much. I think most of this face would be dark, except maybe part of the rim. And yeah, probably under there would be dark as well. And then we'll choose a much lighter colour like that. And what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to outline all of this so that I can just fill it up with the paint bucket. Work easy, not hard. Work easier, not, or work smarter, not whatever the I don't know. There we go. So let's just remove that. Oh, let's just there we go. Remove the arrow. And now, if I reduce the opacity just a little bit and increase the opacity on him, you can see that just by adding that other layer, so instead of just manipulating the colours in themselves, I added that layer on top, reduced the opacity, and now I've got some really nice shading on our character, okay? And it really makes him pop out much more than before. And we can do all sorts of things. We can put some adjustment layers in here, add up the brightness, up the contrast, you know, play around with it. You know, if we don't like the colours or we want to kind of hue change him, there you go. We could create a zombie version of him just by doing some hue shifts. You know, you can do all sorts of things. That's actually pretty cool. And I can give him sunburn, whatever, you know, by adjusting saturation. You know, you can do all sorts of things with an image once you've done it. But yeah, anyway, that is a very brief explanation of how to create a pixel art sprite character for your games.